Welcome to Dinar Daily. That noise you hear in the background right now, it's more than chatter. It's the sound of a global conversation building into something bigger than ever. It's the buzz of millions of investors, speculators, and everyday holders who believe we're standing on the edge of a financial shift that could rewrite not just Iraq's economic story, but maybe even ripple through the global system. Here we are, in 2025, and the rumors about the Iraqi dinar are louder than they've ever been. They're spilling across Telegram chats, YouTube live streams, Twitter threads, and private email updates. Everyone seems to know someone who claims to have inside information. At the center of all this noise, the same recurring claims. Redemption centers. Tier 4B. Private banking contacts leaking numbers. Whispers of screens that show rates never seen before. Now, for the average holder, this creates a strange tension. On one hand, it's thrilling. Imagine a call or text at midnight that a special center has opened and your stack of 25,000 dinar notes might be worth life-changing money by sunrise. On the other hand, it's frustrating. Because every time the rumor cycle peaks, there's the other reality: no official confirmation. Just silence. And that silence is its own kind of pressure. Let's pause and cut through the fog. What is actually on the table when Iraq talks about currency reform? The most misunderstood piece is what's called deleting the zeros. This term gets tossed around like a warning sign: if they delete the zeros, you lose everything. For some, that phrase creates panic. They imagine their 25,000 dinar note becoming just 25 dinar overnight, worthless scraps. But others wave it off as a technical fix with no impact at all. The truth, like always, sits in between. Deleting zeros is not a magic eraser, it's a technical adjustment. Iraq's central bank has openly studied two options. 1. Simply raise the exchange rate dramatically, letting the existing high-denomination notes explode in value against the dollar. That's the dream scenario for holders, the cleanest path. No new notes, no tricky conversions, just a stronger dinar overnight. A 25,000 note suddenly worth thousands in hard currency. But the other option is redenomination. Remove 3 zeros from the notes themselves. Suddenly, your 25,000 note is traded in for a crisp new 25 dinar note. At first glance, that feels like a devastating haircut. But here's the nuance: if the new 25 dinar note carries the same purchasing power the old 25,000 had, then the net value is preserved. Your money doesn't vanish, it just becomes easier to use at home. Turkey did it. Brazil did it. Many others have, too. So which way does Iraq lean? That's the trillion dinar question. A straight revaluation without deleting zeros would be historic. A redenomination would be practical. And in both cases, the implementation process matters more than the headline word. Because if Iraq's central bank backs the change with real reserves, strong oil revenues, and international support, the dinar's purchasing power could rise either way. Here's an example. Imagine you walk into an official bank branch in Baghdad the day after an announcement. If Iraq opts for the straight revaluation, you hand over your 25,000 note, and suddenly it's worth thousands of dollars. If they choose redenomination, you swap your old note for new lower denomination bills, but the rate ensures your wealth is preserved. Either way, the process is through official banking systems, not shadowy hotel rooms or whispered secret centers. And that brings us to one of the most dramatic narratives in the community today: the Tier 4B redemption centers. In 2025, forums are flooded with claims that these special sites are already exchanging at privileged rates for chosen groups. The imagery is powerful: secure rooms, non-disclosure agreements, select lists of pre-approved holders walking in before the public. It feels like an initiation ritual. But here's the problem: currency revaluations don't work in secret. If the Iraqi dinar rate changed even by 10%, it would ripple instantly through the global forex markets. Trade contracts, commodity deals, oil sales all would adjust. Screens in London, New York, Dubai, and Tokyo would flash red in minutes. You can't hide a revaluation of this magnitude, it would show up everywhere. So when claims surface that entire groups are already exchanging in the shadows, we need to ask, where are the ripples? Where's the proof in the markets that doesn't mean hope is pointless? It means hope must be paired with realism. Iraq is making real moves that matter. The government is pushing hard to de-dollarize internal trade. They're modernizing their banking sector, introducing new financial technologies, and building connections with international organizations. These aren't rumors, they're facts, visible in public reports and official statements. And these reforms matter. Because history shows us something important: currencies don't rise in value for no reason. They rise because the fundamentals support it. Because oil revenues are climbing, because foreign reserves are growing, because corruption is being fought back, because infrastructure is being rebuilt. In short, they rise when the world believes the currency can be trusted. This is where patience comes in. Holders often want fireworks, a midnight announcement, instant wealth, a life flipped upside down in an hour. But the smart investors, the ones who actually win in situations like this, don't rely on fireworks. They watch the fundamentals. They track the progress. They prepare for multiple outcomes. So let's break down possible scenarios in plain English. Scenario 1: Iraq shocks the world and announces a huge rate increase without deleting zeros. That's the jackpot. Scenario 2: Iraq issues new smaller notes, deleting zeros, but balances the exchange rate so the value is preserved. That's not fireworks, but it's not disaster either, it's modernization. Scenario 3: no sudden moves, but steady, incremental strengthening of the dinar as reforms deepen. Slow and less flashy, but potentially more sustainable. What about fairness? Will ordinary holders even get a chance if a revaluation happens? That's a valid question. The answer is yes. If Iraq officially changes its rate, commercial banks around the world are required to update their boards. That means whether you're a retail holder in Texas, Toronto, or Tokyo, if you've got authentic dinar, you'll be able to exchange at the public rate. Institutions may have special deals, but they can't block the public from accessing official rates. And here's the psychological factor we have to address. Many people cling to the Tier 4B idea because it makes them feel special, chosen, part of an inner circle. That's human. But it can cloud judgment. At the end of the day, economies don't move on feelings. They move on policy. And Iraq's policy is slow, steady reform. Cutting corruption. Strengthening the central bank. Reducing reliance on the dollar. Building trust with international partners. Those are the levers that matter. So where does this leave us in 2025? In a holding pattern, but not a hopeless one. Iraq is laying the groundwork for something real. Whether it comes as a shock revaluation, a zero deletion modernization, or a gradual climb, change is possible. The smart play is preparation, not panic. Keep your dinar safe. Verify your notes. Watch official announcements from the Central Bank of Iraq, not just forum chatter. And above all, diversify. Don't put your whole future in one basket. Because whether the dinar explodes tomorrow or builds quietly over years, Your financial safety should never depend on a single rumor. The dream scenario, no zeros deleted, massive rate increase remains possible. But so does a slower climb. And that's why patience is the ultimate tool. Those who are ready, steady, and informed will be the ones who benefit when the real announcement hits. And for the skeptics who laugh and say it'll never happen, look at Iraq's visible progress. Banking reform. De-dollarization. New financial tech. Growing reserves. These are not fantasies. They are measurable steps. Whether or not they lead to a dramatic overnight event, they are undeniably moving the nation towards stronger economic footing. So, to wrap this up, yes, it's tempting to chase every rumor. Yes, it's exciting to imagine a Tier 4B call in the middle of the night. But the truth is, the real story is playing out in broad daylight, in Iraq's actual reforms. Stay informed. Stay ready. Don't get swept away by noise. This is Dinar Daily, giving you the clear-eyed assessment you need. Because speculation is loud but wisdom is patient. Stay tuned, and remember, in this game, silence isn't empty. It's pressure. And one day, that pressure will break.